Hello everyone and welcome back for yet another installment of Guitar Shed videos on YouTube. Hope everything's going well, hope you're all enjoying your playing and that everything is going really great for you. So today I'm actually going to do a video that's really overdue. I had promised this almost 2 months ago in fact, and I just never really got the time to get around to it. So here it is today. This is the lesson on one of the diminished scale patterns, the half-whole diminished scale. And this is a scale I really personally like because of its versatility, because of how easy it is to construct on the fretboard, and just how much stuff you can do with it. It's really awesome to play around with, a lot of fun to mess with. So here it is, and I'll go ahead and run through the basic pattern of the scale, and we'll follow it over 1 octave, and you can kind of then play around with it yourselves and improvise, and I'll show you a couple of the things that it can do. So, without any further ado, let's get into the basic scale pattern here. I'm going to be covering it, as I said, over 1 octave, and we'll be beginning at the 5th fret on the low E string. The nice thing about this scale is that it's really simple to construct, and the pattern is very easy to memorize, so you'll be able to jump right into this without a whole lot of time playing around with the scale. So, I'll go ahead and pick the 5th fret at E, as I said. The next note will be the 6th fret, same string. Next note, 8th fret, same string again. Next note, 4th fret of the A. Next note will be the 6th fret of the A. Next, 7th on the A. Next, 4th on the D. 5th on the D. 7th on the D. So here's that whole thing a little bit quicker. So that's the basic scale pattern, and as you can hear, now I'll tell you this scale has tonnages of usage. But the nice thing about it is, it's mostly used in, well, 2 genres, but then 3 if you're not really a purist. The 2 genres that it's mainly used in are, oddly enough, jazz and metal, 2 things that don't tend to overlap all that much when it comes to style and technique. But this is one scale that really does lend itself. I'm sure you could hear when I did that secondary playthrough of it, how it gives itself a little bit of a dark intonation, if you will. Really great for metal especially. Now I'm using an amp with a fairly clean setting right now, but in a more heavily distorted setting it really lends itself to metal, especially lead metal techniques. Now jazz, on the other hand, it's utilized a little bit differently, still used for that darker tone a little bit, but of course nowhere near to the degree that it's used in metal for that quality. Now the other genre I was talking about that uses it in a little bit different way, and I know, just if you're a blues purist, just please shut the video off right now, because either you're going to shut the video off or you're going to come throw a brick at my head, because I'm about to say that the diminished scale can be used in blues. Sorry guys, it can be. Let me give you a quick example of how that sounds, and this will give you an idea of just how vastly the tone of this scale can change very easily. All I'm going to do is eliminate every second note of the scale, and we're going to get a very nice kind of bluesy tone out of it. So let's go ahead and hear that right now. And you can hear how just by eliminating those notes, I constructed a scale that sounds completely different from, the very dark scale that we were hearing earlier when I was doing a complete playthrough. You wind up with kind of a little bit of a jumpy scale with a touch of, with a touch of the bluesy feel to it. And, you can really utilize that in the blues. I know, again, pure blues aficionados, I apologize to you, but it's the truth. So that's kind of how it can be utilized in different genres and to different effects, and the more you play around with this scale, if you continue it out over multiple octaves, or if you can, change the overall direction or the order of the notes that you're playing, do basic improvisation with it, you're really going to figure out very quickly how incredibly versatile this scale is. Now, another thing it really has going for it is its applications in rhythm playing. Now, I'm mostly a metal guitarist. That's my primary genre that I play in, is a harder rock, heavy metal style. So, one of my favorite things about this scale is that if I carry it out to a very simple logical conclusion in rhythmic playing, I can get a very good, very dark sounding rhythm scale out of it. And the way I can do that, I'll just give you a real quick example. All I'm going to do is I'm going to play a few notes of it, and I'm just going to extrapolate them to octave chords. So I'm going to play simultaneously the root note that we were playing in the scale initially as single notes, and then 2 frets and 2 strings over, 2 frets up and 2 strings over, I should say, to create an octave chord, and you'll hear how we can get a kind of a dark rhythm tone out of that. And again, I'm not even going to distort the amplifier. I can just play this in the cleaner setting, and you'll still be able to hear the potential it has for like a darker style rhythm. And again, if I were to add a little bit of distortion, maybe a little chorus onto my amplifier, we'd have, a really good basic, obviously very simplified, but I'm only doing a very simplified version to show you what the scale can do when applied in that way. And, I'm really only scratching the surface here, because in order to show you everything that this scale can do, I would do a video that was hours long. So we're not going to carry it to that extreme. But honestly, I would say that if you're going to be playing around with scales for usages in a lot of different styles and in a lot of different applications in playing, the diminished scale, the half-whole diminished scale, is a really, really great way to go. Now, there's also its counterpart, the whole half diminished scale, which is the exact reverse. I'm sure you all noticed that when I was playing, the reason it's called the half-whole diminished scale is because it alternates half steps and whole steps. The first note is the root note, followed by a half step, followed by a whole step, followed by another half step, followed by another whole step, etc., to the progression of the scale. So the half, or the whole half diminished scale, which I'm going to do a separate video lesson on a little bit later, but the whole half diminished scale kind of has some of the same tonal qualities, but a very, very different feel to it overall, with very minimal change in how it's actually played. All you're doing is reversing the order you're playing in to create a few different notes that you wouldn't get in the half-whole diminished scale, and subtracting some notes that you have in there, and it comes across as just a completely different animal. But the nice thing is that by memorizing both of those two basic scale patterns, you get a ton of versatility, and you can really construct a lot of cool stuff out of that. So, as usual, hope you enjoyed the lesson. Any questions, comments, videos you'd like me to do, certainly, because I'm always looking for more ideas. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment box or message me directly here on YouTube. I'll also leave down in the description of this video a link to the Guitar Shed Music website. That's the blog I've set up. Has a few different things on it, written content and such, that you're not going to find here on YouTube, obviously. I'll also go ahead and leave a link down to the Facebook page so that you can join us on Facebook and get updates on, Guitar Shed news, some of the little tips I do. Anytime a new blog post or new video is released, I go ahead and I put it up on there. So you'll have access to, a feed of news on what's going on. So, hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. As always, just get your guitar out and play. A lot of people come to this channel for tips on playing and advice, and that is the biggest piece of advice I can offer, is just get your guitar out and play with it. Because you can watch all the video lessons you want to on YouTube, and they're very helpful. But at the end of the day, once you're done watching the video, go grab the guitar, try it out. So, hope you guys have a great day, enjoy your playing. I'll see you next time.